Blacklist Hunter here, and today we got an interesting video that is Morel Mackernasey versus the Phantom Troupe members. There is no doubt that Morel is an exceptional Nen user, a warrior with unwavering resolve and a great strategist. Morel performed so well against the Chimera Ants, contributed so much to the mission that he is eligible for a promotion higher than that of a single star hunter now. Morel's most powerful quote regarding Nen combat is that he says to always fight like you're 100% confident you're going to win. Now, how would Morel perform against each member of the Phantom Troupe? We know that the Phantom Troupe's name strikes fear into most people because they are A-class bounty criminals with a notorious reputation. The Phantom Troupe would make most average Nen users bow before their strength, and that is stated since the very beginning of the story. I want to start with the weakest member of the Phantom Troupe, which is Kortopi. Now, no matter how you look at it, Kortopi has no choice but to run if he had to fight Morel. Kortopi doesn't have the physical capabilities, no combat strength to actually deal damage to Morel. We know Kortopi did have a considerable aura reserve because he could conjure whole buildings with his gallery fake ability. Kortopi's ability was special and useful to the Phantom Troupe because he could replicate many objects which were stolen, like for example in York New City. Kortopi should have had some decent skill and a bit of strength if enhanced with aura, and he definitely is no pushover. It's just that the other Phantom Troupe members are in a whole other league than him. Taking in consideration what Kortopi has displayed, I don't see how he can defeat a hunter like Morel with tremendous strength compared to him and such a great and versatile fighting ability. The next spider member we got is Shizuku. Now, we did see Shizuku in action against Spike, and in reality at first she was struggling against it. Now, we gotta look at the facts only. She fought a Chimera Ant officer, while Morel has not only fought Chimera captains like Leol and Shito, but managed to win with various high IQ strategies. Shizuku only won against Spike because she hit him while he didn't expect it several times. She dealt damage with her Nen ability Blinky, using the vacuum as a close ranged weapon. Let's just assume Shizuku has some potential physical strength. If she tries to close the distance and hit Morel with Blinky, Morel can simply block with his smoke pipe, and it would be clear who would prevail in that instance. Now, not only Morel can surround her with smoky gel, he can use clones that take his shape and clearly outmaneuver Shizuku at any moment. Shizuku's Nen ability Blinky can't absorb objects made out of Nen, so Morel's puppets are safe from being erased. Morel clearly has the advantage physically, mentally, and considering his experience, he should be able to win in low difficulty against Shizuku. Now, the next spider member, Pakunoda, is clearly a bit tougher physically, and in case you didn't notice, I'm picking from weakest member physically up to the strongest. Now, we have Morel, a guy with more than 5,000 battles, immense experience, versus Pakunoda, who in reality is a specialist with a very unique ability because she could read a person's mind by touching anywhere in the body. It's clear Pakunoda is not a combat-oriented Phantom Troupe member. You could say she is useful for gathering intelligence and stuff, but for the sake of the argument, let's assess the situation here. Pakunoda definitely was strong physically. She could enhance her body with Nen, and let's assume she did have some considerable aura reserve. We have seen she uses a gun, possibly she enhances the bullets with aura. We've seen her neutralize Chrollo with ease, almost breaking his arm. She is fast and quite smart. I honestly believe normal day-to-day Nen users would get cooked by Pakunoda, but we're talking about Morel here. Let's say Morel doesn't decide to attack head-on, but sends the smoke puppets to attack. He produces like 10 of them. Pakunoda brings out the Glock and shoots. It's clear that even if the smoke puppets are destroyed, the legend Morel can produce way more in an instant. If we are talking about fresh Morel, just coming out of the house in the morning, not tired, without any previous fights during the night, it's clear that Morel wins against Pakunoda any day, no matter her strength and possible gun attacks. Morel is way superior in almost every aspect. The man was fighting with 35% total physical and aura condition against whole captains and royal guards. Deep Purple is too overpowered for the likes of Pakunoda. Although indeed she can beat normal Nen users, Morel is an experienced fighter with a tricky ability that can't possibly defend against, only try to run. The next one is Shalnark, and I gotta say he is a manipulator just like Morel, and in reality the only threat to the man Morel is Shalnark's black voice ability. We know that if the black voice antenna is sticked in a person, that person loses all control of his actions and mind. Now, we saw that when Shalnark came face to face with the ant, he didn't try to punch it or anything. He states that his best chance was to stick the antenna. So definitely Shalnark is not that strong physically, around the level of Pakunoda. However, we saw that his autopilot mode, the antenna which he sticks on himself, gives Shalnark an immense boost in aura output and he becomes quite powerful for a minute. However, the bad thing is that after that he loses all memory and he also begins to suffer from pain and he can't move very well. I do get the impression that Shalnark is pretty fast, has quick reflexes as he could see Feitan fighting Zazan. However, here we got Morel as an opponent. Shalnark has shown to be quite smart and his autopilot mode is certainly a threat, but Morel has more combat experience due to being older. I would say Shalnark is around Morel student's Knuckles level. Morel not only has a superior physical advantage over Shalnark, his aura reserve is next level. Also, he himself has stated that he has never seen any other Nen user with a more versatile ability than Deep Purple. So if Morel came face to face with Shalnark, it's not like he wouldn't be able to tell if Shalnark is trying to close the distance to stick him with the antenna. We've seen how vigilant Morel is. His confidence and awareness is next level. I frankly believe if Morel wants to, he can force Shalnark into long distance by using the puppets. The only win condition for Shalnark is his autopilot mode, and that is only if he gets one up on Morel and catches him lagging, which I believe is not possible based on what Morel has displayed in battle, like for example against Cheetor or Leol or even Poof. Even if Shalnark does activate autopilot and gains considerable strength, speed boost and attacks Morel head on, there is a good chance Morel may actually survive because he certainly can use Ko, and we know he has a lot of aura, so Morel can consequently end Shalnark while he is suffering from the side effects of the ability. Next is Nobunaga, and we know he is a quite skilled swordsman, so his sword certainly can cut through Morel's smoke troopers in an instant. Now one thing is certain, Nobunaga is not a Nen master since his end radius is around 4 meters and Kite for example could extend its aura to a radius of 50 meters. If Nobunaga admits he cannot deal with Hisoka's bungee gum since it's so versatile, it should be the same with Morel's Deep Purple. Let's be clear here, what Nobunaga has is probably superior speed compared to Morel and quite incredibly high sword proficiency. We saw how Nobunaga swiftly charged and ended Luini in the manga, also without a second thought charged at Yokotani and tried to end him with quite a unique type of attack using his katana. The only reason why Nobunaga couldn't finish Yokotani's puppets was because they were immune to damage, but Morel's smoke troopers are definitely way easier to cut through. Even though Nobunaga is quite an skilled Nen user, Morel is an excellent strategist with an ability that can be used in various unique ways. One-on-one in an open field, Morel can definitely outmaneuver Nobunaga with clones looking like him just like he did against Shitu, and if Morel manages to actually grab Nobunaga's katana from him, he has the victory in his pocket. While Nobunaga is no fool and certainly is keen and knowledgeable, Morel is an unshakable warrior with amazing conviction and determination. He can analyze and break down the battle in an instant and formulate amazing counter plans on the spot. The only threat Nobunaga poses to Morel is his speed and katana. Morel could almost keep up with Shitu when he first fought the ant, and Morel also has an ability which confuses the opponent, and depending on the environment he can encircle the opponent with smoke. Also he can use a pipe as a defense against Nobunaga's sword attacks. Surely Morel is not that slow and does have some reflexes. We don't know Nobunaga's Hatsu, but with what he has displayed, considering that Morel has students like Knuckle and Shoot, he definitely is above his skill level. If Nobunaga decides to stay in one position and wait for Morel to come into his domain, I certainly believe Morel can find various counters to his lightning speed sword draw. The smoke troopers are certainly very difficult to deal with when they can be used in multiple ways. Next is Bonolenov, and straight up I want to say that Morel is stronger, even though Bonolenov is quite tough and a very strong warrior. It's clear that Morel is stronger physically, as not only he has abundant aura reserve, but he is quite proficient in using advanced applications of Nen to defend himself. Bonolenov failed to kill the ant using his first Nen Hatsu attack, Battle Cantabile, so the first Hatsu is definitely not ending Morel in one shot. Morel was fighting a royal guard and didn't waver at all. It's highly possible that Morel can find a way around Bonolenov's dance and the sound effects it produces. As for Bonolenov's powerful Battle Cantabile Jupiter attack, it's unlikely Morel is gonna let Bonolenov produce it or not find a way to escape it. Bonolenov is certainly a frightening Nen user. In the manga, his aura was so powerful people assumed he was Hisoka. Furthermore, Bonolenov is quite strong physically, but I'd put him around Knuckles level. Bonolenov was confident he could defeat Zazan, but Morel could defeat Cheetu, and he ended Leol in a strategic way. It's possible Morel can trap Bonolenov in the smoky jail and use his smoke clones to overpower him and end him in one swift attack. Morel is not only a strong manipulator, he is quite capable in enhancement, and his aura reserve makes it possible for him to have strong attacks and defense with Koa and Ken. Since Bonolenov is a conjurer and he is certain he cannot beat Hisoka, Morel should be able to kill him as well. Morel is a high level Nen fighter while Bonolenov is a little bit above average at most. The genius of Morel is that he is able to find the opponent's weak spots in an instant, since he is extremely clever, and he may even trap and encircle Bonolenov so that he may have no chance to dance at all. So Morel is cooking Bonolenov in mid difficulty. Now the next one is the leader of the Phantom Troupe, Chrollo. Now the first thing that comes to mind as always is that Chrollo managed to hold off for a while two top tier Nen users like the Zoldyx. Chrollo's Skill Hunter contains a whole book with abilities. The way Chrollo used his abilities in perfect sync in a unique and flawless strategy against Hisoka proves that Morel is going to struggle. Not only Chrollo matches Morel's genius strategy level, he has multiple abilities at his disposal. Chrollo's advantage against Morel is not physical strength, far from it. Chrollo has no chance physically against Morel. If we take the use of Ben's knife, it's clear that one cut on Morel from the Ben's knife means he is finished. However, it's quite possible that Morel may choose to keep it long distance and send the smoke puppets to attack, but considering Chrollo's arsenal of abilities, he may even use indoor fish, perhaps even use the transportation ability to attack Morel in an instant. So if Morel traps Chrollo with the smoky jail, it's quite possible that Chrollo may activate indoor fish and end Morel right in there, if he doesn't deactivate the ability. However, depending on the environment, Morel may have a slight advantage. In a forest, considering the number of puppets Morel can produce, which is 200 plus, he may be able to outsmart Chrollo, although that chance is at a low percentage. Chrollo's stats on mind and ingenuity are higher than Morel's. The most dangerous aspect of Chrollo is how he executes his abilities in a flash and combines them perfectly while also out-strategizing the opponent. Chrollo is a highly versatile fighter, and it's clear that Heaven's Arena Chrollo is stronger than Morel. He has way more abilities and doesn't even have to hold the book. Chrollo is a genius Nen user and one of the strongest we have seen so far. There is a reason his ingenuity is at max level, because he is simply a genius at strategizing. Now I would say Morel beats Morel in high difficulty. It's not like Morel is some walk in the park. Morel is a veteran fighter who proved himself worthy and a challenge to even a royal guard. As Morel stated, the tide of battle can change at any moment, but if he comes face to face with Chrollo, he may keep up with Chrollo's maneuvers for a while, but ultimately Chrollo's sharpness and arsenal of abilities can render his smoke pretty useless, and it's not like Morel is gonna try to smash Chrollo's face with his pipe, because he certainly isn't going to get anywhere with that. Certainly Morel has more raw power, and that is clear. Morel's battle and combat experience is admirable, but Chrollo is on another level in Nen mastery, and in a prolonged fight Chrollo can win. It's not a matter of who gets tired first. We saw Morel perform at 35% pretty damn good, but Chrollo goes for the kill at all times, and he has been shown to be one step ahead of his opponent, and with prep time he is certainly unstoppable. If we are talking about the level of strategy, they are both certainly around the same level. However, even though Deep Purple is quite remarkable, Chrollo's execution of abilities is next level Nen mastery. Chrollo didn't fight Hisoka head on physically because he would lose, but with a set of strategies and flawless execution. Morel is a fighter that relies on attrition and rarely fights in close quarters. He uses puppets, multiple numbers and traps, relies in his endurance and superior will. However, Chrollo relies on swift attacks, lethal moves, and uses Nen in an efficient and deadly way. Since ingenuity stat of Chrollo is higher than Morel's, it means that he is quite clever at devising mid-battle. If Chrollo can beat Zeno, he beats Morel as well. Morel has more than 5,000 plus battles. It's quite possible that Zeno has double of that. However, Chrollo is a prodigy, and that title makes him one of the most dangerous characters and lethal Nen users to fight against. There is a chance that Morel can win, but it's quite low, so the win goes to Chrollo. As for Machi, while she does seem to be quite a capable Nen user and very intelligent, there is no evidence she can beat Morel. Her threats are quite strong, so the puppets of Morel would get decimated. However, physically Morel is overpowering her at any time. Morel has taught Nen to two students like Knuckle and Shoot, who are pretty tough. I would put Knuckle at the same tier as Machi, while Morel higher and also a better fighter. It's not just physical strength with Morel. One of his deadliest qualities is his immense experience and on-the-spot strategy. His confidence and unshakable resolve can't possibly easily be shaken by Machi's level. I am of the opinion that Morel has a chance of actually taking out Hisoka, while I don't see the same thing with Machi. Morel's deep purple ability is like an ocean of options on the battlefield. We saw how he captured Cheeto by encircling his leg with smoke, which couldn't be destroyed. Machi was struggling to get out of Hisoka's bungee gum, and it's clear that if Morel catches her, it's over for Machi. While the threats are pretty strong and solid, I don't see how Morel can dodge or find a way to block with his smoke. Machi would certainly struggle against Morel, and in a draw-out battle, a fresh 100% Morel isn't getting tired anytime soon. It's not like Morel would let Machi get close and let her cut him with the threads. The man is a genius strategist. I have endless things to say, but I don't want to make the video too long. As for Franklin, I believe he is quite strong physically and can definitely keep up or overpower Morel. His double machine gun ability is certainly frightening, as the bullets have immense power into them, immense aura. I would presume way more than Goto. Franklin may have used a restriction to make the power of the bullets stronger, as he has cut off his fingertips. It does look like Franklin also does have a considerable amount of aura, and he's quite skilled at enhancement despite being an emitter. I get the impression Franklin isn't that fast compared to the others and relies on long distance attacks. I feel like this category of Nen users that are very strong physically, have a lot of aura, and are dangerous at long range attacks are a threat to Morel. I believe this can go either way, and it does seem like Franklin is quite tough. I think 6 times out of 10 Morel wins due to his high strategy and immense experience due to being older. However, I think Franklin's attacks are quite brutal and lethal, which would destroy Morel's defenses, and the only thing that leads Morel to a win is a surprise attack in the midst of battle chaos. Morel's high aura reserve coupled with his sheer enhancement proficiency can pose a threat to Franklin when combined with his deep purple ability. He certainly doesn't want to be in a closed space like Smoky Jail with Franklin. However, Franklin may have other Hatsu variations which may be stronger than double machine gun, and I believe he is quite a tough Nen user and very strong physically. As for Phinks, his reverse cyclotron is a threat to Morel. I believe Morel is stronger overall than Phinks due to him being a experienced veteran of countless battles, which have given him a considerable amount of fighting experience. We saw how Morel reacted to a full charge Janken gun attack. I think if Phinks spinned his arm enough, Morel may react in the same manner, but certainly Morel can over strategize Phinks, and that is his only win condition, as Phinks is stated to be even stronger than Hisoka physically, and we know the mastician is quite tough. I believe that if a person is around or stronger than Morel physically and the opponent relies in trying to close the distance, it's clear, given Morel's immense strategy, IQ and deep purple versatility, that he should be able to win against Phinks. However, if Phinks lands a full charged attack, it's quite over for Morel no matter how much he tries to defend with Ko. Regarding Uvogin, it's clear that Morel has the upper advantage due to him being smarter and more clever. However, physically it's clear that Uvogin can defeat Morel in close quarters combat. Morel has no capacity in defending against a full powered big bang impact. It's like defending against a missile. Just like Kurapika, Morel can certainly outmaneuver and trap Uvogin in one way or another. Also, his clones make it possible to trick Uvogin and land a solid hit which Uvogin cannot defend from. If Kurapika was able to land some solid hits, Morel should be able to as well. All in all, I think 6 times out of 10 Morel wins in high difficulty, just because Uvogin is quite a next level enhancer with monstrous power. We shouldn't forget Morel's smoke is quite tough and can take countless forms, plus his smoke troopers and environment conditions give a veteran like Morel countless ideas to combine with. However, just because Kurapika beat Uvogin, it doesn't mean it's easy to beat Uvogin. Uvogin is literally a whole Nen monster. Feitan definitely is way faster than Morel, and the way the man was moving against Zazan despite being rusty proves that he may actually take out Morel. His swordsmanship coupled with sheer speed and deadly accuracy means that he has a solid chance against Morel. Morel is definitely stronger physically, but if he can't react or defend against Feitan's incredible speed and he stabs him, it's game over. Feitan's rising sun is also a factor to bear in mind. If Morel is caught off guard, it's over. I also think depending on the environment, it can go either way, but I think it's 50-50 in a open field one-on-one. Feitan has the pure speed and that bloodlust always attacking, while Morel has the surprise factor and countless possibilities of his deep purple. I think it's highly unlikely he catches Feitan with his smoke. If the environment is full of trees and rocks and everything, I think Morel wins most of the time, as he can even smoke the whole area just like he did against the Chimera Ants. Feitan, even if he would use Ant, can't tell which is which. It really depends on the environment. I think Morel is a better Nen user overall. However, Feitan is definitely way more aggressive and a versatile push-in fighter. Now the ultimate end match is Hisoka, and considering how he performed against Chrollo, considering all his versatile and his bungee jump, he lifted up several puppets, spinning around with such speed, not letting hundreds of deadly puppets get near him. Hisoka only lost because the man Chrollo was basically detonating bombs near him. Hisoka is a whole monster and possibly one of the strongest characters we have seen after the King, Netero and the Royal Guards, and beyond Netero and Feinks. He is a extremely versatile fighter, extremely smart, a genius land user, and his bungee jump can be attached at any moment, so if he attaches it to Morel, it's over. But I think in high difficulty Hisoka wins. This video can go even longer, I have many things to say. Ultimately we know Hisoka is a bit stronger than Morel, and I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these types of videos, consider subscribing. Blacklist Hunter 99, and I'll see you in the next video.